In this video, I will share with you how you can build an all-in-one SEO writing agent in just a few minutes using Lindy. You'll be able to do so without any previous technical experience and without writing a single line of code. This SEO agent that we will build will be able to take the search query that you give it, find the top ranking blog articles for it, scrape those articles, and then it will act as an SEO analyst to summarize each article with what they did well and what they're all missing. It will then process that information and use it to write a better article to outrank all of the competitors. So without further ado, let's get right into building it. But very quickly, before we actually build out our AI agent, let me run you through the entire automation so that you know what to expect. Our automation will start with a message trigger, which will then activate our blog post finder agent. This agent will take the query that we give it and it will find top 3 blog articles ranking for that query. It will ignore any kind of Q&A sites, aggregators, etc., only finding us high quality blog articles. Then the URLs of those articles will enter into a loop where each one of the URLs will get scraped, taking all of the text from that web page and sending it to a summarizer, which will then extract all of the key info from those articles. Then using that extract information, all of the summaries, we will do an SEO analysis on them, where we will analyze any common gaps as well as the strong points of those top ranking articles. And then using that SEO analysis that we did, we will send that to our copywriting agent, which will write an amazing article that can outrank all of our competitors. Once the article is written, we'll create a Google Doc and send it to our spreadsheet so that we can have it all in one place, so that it's ready for us to post or send it to another team member, which will post it on our website. To start building it, I'm going to click on New Lindy and then start from scratch. So we will start with a trigger. I'm going to click on Chat with this Lindy and choose Message Received. This way we can activate our automation by messaging Lindy itself. We can add a greeting message here if we want, but in our case there's not much need, so we're going to go right into AI agent. Now what the AI agent will be able to do is take our input from the message that we send it in a trigger and then perform a certain action that we ask it to do. The AI agent can by itself figure out what it needs to do and do it with the skills that are assigned here on the right. You can set a model for the agent as well if you want to make it smarter. For example, you could set it to O1 so that it uses the reasoning model, or O3, which is OpenAI's most powerful reasoning model. In our case, we're going to leave it on default. But to let our agent know what it needs to do, we're going to enter a prompt here. I copy-pasted a prompt here, telling it exactly what it will need to do once it receives our input. I told it to extract the top organic results and exclude any type of sites like aggregators, Q&A sites, wiki style, e-commerce, forum pages, and YouTube links, only to select original editorial style content from blog posts. Then I give it a little bit more information with what the final output should look like. And then the only thing we need to do further to set up the step is to give it a web browser skill. To do that, we're going to click on the plus button here, search for web, and click on search the internet. So now when we send our AI agent the search query, it will be able to extract the top URLs. Next, let's start with processing these URLs. I'm going to click add step and then add a loop. What a loop basically does is it takes each bit of data from the previous steps and processes it individually. In our case, we want to do it because the agent will actually find multiple URLs. So we want to process every single one of them individually. But quickly, as you could see here, we have this little notification here. That's because we didn't define an exit condition for AI agent. In our case, I just said exit once you've compiled a list of top 3 URLs that fit the criteria. For the loop, here we have a section which says items to loop through. So here we basically just have to prompt Lindy, telling it what items we actually want to send through into the loop. I'm going to tell it each unique blog article URL. And for max cycles, I'm going to set it to 3 because we're only going to send 3 at a time anyways. Then I'm going to press add step within the loop, go to by Lindy, then go to web browser, and then click on extract web page text. And then I'm going to click add step again, go to by Lindy again, then go to AI, and then go to summarize. Now, simple as that, each one of the URLs will now get scraped with all of the web page text being extracted, and then it will get summarized. However, we want to modify this summarize step so that it summarizes it in the way that we want. So I'm going to change it here to prompt AI and give it a prompt, telling it that it's an expert SEO analyst and to summarize the following points from the article. Then I'm going to click on the exit loop, and then click on the output, set manually, and set it to the output from the summarize, just to make sure that the output of each loop is the summary that we created here. Then for the next step, we want to actually do the SEO analysis for these summaries that we created from the extracted blog articles. I'm going to click add step again, then go to AI and once again add summarize, then change it to prompt AI and give it a very comprehensive prompt telling it exactly what we want it to do. Here I told it that it's a high-level SEO analyst, and based on the individual summaries of each articles, synthesize a high-level view that includes what all sources are commonly covering, what is missing across all of them, the writing tone, the average word count, frequently used keywords, and related phrases, as well as common structural elements. And then I just give it an output structure, so exactly the way that I want this summary to be outputted. And then basically the last step for actually having the article written, I'm gonna add another AI agent and give it a prompt telling it what it needs to do with the summary that it got before. I told it that it's a professional SEO writer, and it will be given a structured summary of top 3 performing articles with common topics, structure, tone, word count, and keyword insights, and then told it to write a brand new article that outranks all of those previous sources, covers the same common topics, and a few other information to basically make our articles as comprehensive as possible. If you want, you can just pause this video, take a screenshot, send it to ChatGPT, and get it to give you the text for this prompt so that you can also use it yourself. And that's it. Let's test it out. I'm gonna click turn on, go to test. For sample query, I'm just gonna ask it to how to vinyl wrap a motorcycle. As you can see, it searched the internet. It found some results, but it needed to exclude Reddit, Quora, and forum sites. The agent is following the steps that we set for it. And then as we could see, it extracted 3 high-quality URLs. Let's double check them. Yep, that is a blog article. That is also a blog article. Yep, this one is also a blog article. And this one as well. It did a great job. It didn't include any Reddit posts or any Quora posts, which you would normally find if you actually go on Google and search for that query. Then as you can see, it sent all of them into a loop where each URL was extracted and summarized, and then it finished our high-level summary of all of those articles. As you could see here in gaps and opportunities, there was limited coverage of specific motorcycle types, minimal discussion of vinyl wrap longevity, lack of detailed cost comparison, etc. So now that summary has been sent to the AI agent, and it's going to take a second to actually write up the article. And boom, the article is written. It's quite a big article and it's not very easy to see it here. So I'm just going to click on tasks and see it in this format here. As you could see, it wrote a massive article detailing the entire process, relevant to our year, very, very detailed. Okay, one thing there is that the article was absolutely massive, so we should probably tell it to keep it a bit shorter. So here at the end, I'm just gonna say keep the article length between 1,500 and 2,000 words so that it doesn't create this huge output. I'm gonna click save. The last few steps is just saving it to a Google Doc and sending it to our spreadsheet. So let me show you quickly how to do that. In add action, I'm gonna search for Google Docs. Then I'm gonna choose create document. We'll set it up in a second. And then I'm gonna add the spreadsheet as well. I'm gonna search for sheets and I'm gonna press append row. I forgot to define the exit condition for agent before. So I'm just saying exit once the article has been written. So the reason I haven't set up properly Google Docs and Google Sheets yet is because there's a few little things that I want to do before that. And that is, I'm going to click here on add step, then go to by Lindy, and then go to Lindy utilities and add a variable, set variable. The reason we're doing that is that I want to set a variable with our search query so that I can reference this variable later in Google Docs and Google Sheet for the specific fields. I'm just going to name it search query, and then for the value, I'm going to set it to prompt AI and users search query. And then I'm going to do the same here. For name, I'm going to give it top URLs. And then for the value, I said that 3 unique URLs found by the agent in the previous step. And then to rename these, I'm going to click on the top here, click rename, so that they're just easier to see later. Same here. And that's it. Now I'm going to go to Google Docs, choose the folder. For title, I'm going to set it to manually and then choose our search query and then click value. And then for content, I'm going to leave it on auto. I just chose my SEO spreadsheet, chose the sheet title. Then for search query, I'm going to set it to manual. and set it to our search query value. Then for the top URLs, we're gonna do the same, set it to manual and then top URLs value. Then for content analysis, I'm gonna set the output from our summarize step from before. And then for article written, once again manual, but this time Google Doc URL. Amazing. So now when the article is written, a Google Doc will be created with the information from the article, and then it will be added to our spreadsheet. Then one last step is I'm gonna send chat with this Lindy and then send message. This way Lindy will update us in the chat once the whole task is complete. I'm gonna press save and quickly test it out once again. Let's click on new task, and then I'm gonna give it the same search query again. We started the search, once again found Reddit links as well as YouTube links. So now it wants to do a little bit more research. We found another qualifying URL. Then it shows the 3 best ones depending on the quality and authority, because it actually had quite a few after this entire search. Then it entered the URLs into the loop. And as you could see here, for each one of the URLs, it extracted the text and summarized it. Then it did our SEO analysis. Then boom, Google Doc was created with the correct title, and then Google Sheet was updated. Did our search query in one column, the URLs in the second column, the content analysis in the third column, and then the URL of the Google Doc in the last column. Amazing. So just like this, you can create a powerful AI SEO agent that can help you outrank your competitors on Google. And if you want to start setting up AI automations for your own business or your workflows, make sure to click the link in the description. You can sign up and try out the free trial to see how it all works. And if you want more inspiration on things that you can actually automate with Lindy, make sure to click the video on the screen now. I'll see you there.